Okay, so Man of the West against Elves for the first game in the Champions League Best of 7 challenge. On a beautiful map, Forts of Anduin, we have the blue Man of the West player Ave against the red Elven player Mustafa. Now, Mustafa as a player likes to play the Elven faction, and I believe, you know, Elven faction is in a really tricky spot right now, even though the win rate is not horrible, but I think they lack of something. I don't know what it is, and we might find the answer out in this phenomenal match between these two great players. You know, Mustafa was kind of abusing in the patch 8.4 the Arvin int strategy. Basically, recruit Arvin, pressure the farms, get level 5, use flood, die, revive her, use flood again, die again, and deal great amount of damage. Unfortunately for Mustafa, you know, Arvin got nerfed this patch, so the flood's damage is nerfed big time, and you won't be able to deal the same damage like, you know, like you used to in the version 8.4. With the economical opening after 3 Malone trees, we see a barracks coming up now for the Elven player Mustafa. On the other side, we see even a better economical opening for the Turkish player Abi on the left side. He's building up 4 farms into the barracks right after this one. Hey Kurumai, welcome. Okay, so barracks and archery range at the same time. So Man of the West has a couple of options early on. You can also go for like an offensive barracks, and this economical opening is something we see much more often from the BFME 2 players actually, you know, especially Ectelion. He's the one who always, with every single faction he's playing, building up 4 resource buildings at the beginning of the game before any production building. And it kind of works out. I was watching the games yesterday between Ectelion against Eternal, and Eternal is a Rise of the Witch King player exclusively, and yet Ectelion was, you know, performing extremely well and end up winning. That's pretty impressive. Archer range into the barracks, soldier, and Gondor archers is going to be the choice. So archers for the defense and soldiers for the offense. In the meantime, we have a pikeman start from the Elven player Mustafa. Looks like you want to creep this one. Should be easy to accomplish because there is no counter pressure yet, since the barracks and the archer range from Ave were a bit delayed. It means easy creeping, easy level 2, easy money, easy power points. And now with a stable coming up, that's good. You know, you want to have always those mobile units because they are great when it comes to harassment. So basically you can hit and run. You don't need to fully commit. And if nothing else, that's gonna force the Turkish player Ave to recruit multiple Rohan spearmen early on, and even eventually tower guards later on to counter these units. Alinos, welcome. TTC, welcome. Vulki, I have no clue about this, to be honest. Like, guys, I have no clue about Discord management. I have not, you know, kind of invested any time into this Discord bots, what they are able to do, how to set them up, how to make them work. I have really no clue about that. Go Ave, yeah. He was actually building a Malone tree right on the spots where the lair was, and the Elven player is kind of disengaging for now. He doesn't want to take a fight, and Ave is making a move now from the bottom right side with those Gondor soldiers. Hope you had a nice dinner, guys. Dude, I didn't have anything to eat yet. I'm starving. You know, I'm gonna eat later on. I kind of messed up my eat schedule, so I eat quite late, you know, the lunch, and then for the dinner I'm never kind of hungry when my wife is hungry, for example, and I kind of eat my dinner around 9 p.m, which is not the best thing in the world, I guess. I gotta reschedule that. First attack, the farm is going to be definitely taken down, but I believe he won't be able to deal much more damage than that one. And Abi will get away without using his own rallying call. So losing one single Malon or farm early on is not the worst case in the world, you know what I'm saying? Now the counter attack might actually be very effective. However, another farm from Abi will be taken down from the Lorien warriors. I mean, the thing is, Lorien warriors are faster than the soldiers. They don't need to take a fight like that. Maybe it's the best call if you just disengage. When you know you can't win a fight, just go run away. You can do that. That's the power of the Elven infantry. They are just a bit more mobile. We see more and more spearmen joining the battlefield just to be prepared for the worst case scenario. And that is, of course, those lancers. But for now, Mustafa is actually managing to keep Ave in a check situation. You know what I'm saying? Kind of forcing Ave to play extremely defensively. And if Mustafa can stall this a little bit longer for the rallying call to reload, he might even be easily able to defend himself. Gondor archers, pikemen and swordmen, they are now moving forward, and it looks like Mustafa is not going to have enough units to defend himself. What's the plan for tonight? Benzi, first of all, welcome, my dude. First of all, we're gonna see this best of 7 challenge between Mustafa and Abe, and I believe also Eternal has a challenge now against Maru. And unfortunately, Mr. Smoke informed me today that he doesn't want to be in the Champions League anymore. He's still up for some show matches, but he won't be competing in the Champions League anymore. And I was really looking, I mean, kind of disappointed for me, because I was really looking forward to see tonight's, you know, Smokey against Sauron. We might still get the chance to see that, but other than in the Champions League, more in a show match style. We shall see. Big attack is coming in clutch, dude. Lots of units with buff, no buff for the Alvin player. He was using Farsight for increased vision range and, you know, shooting range. But that's not enough, you know. You don't get any raw strength from the Farsight. Doesn't give you any damage or armor. Those combat stats are in Rise of the Witch King just too effective. Like the Rallying Call advantage or the Warden advantage is massive. Unlike in Battle for Middle-earth 2, in Rise of the Witch King, it boosts your armor and damage by 50% each. Lots of damage dealt. He's still camping around this side. The only bad thing for Abe is that he's taking so much damage for free from this fortress, but it's fine. He has so many units, he can do that. The Malone tree here is going to be taken down as well. So basically, the strategy here from Abe was defend, and go for a massive counter attack. But now the pikes are goners, and the lancers can clean up those archers. The pikes are now trying to regroup and protect those archers. The Malone tree is not going to make it out alive. Level almost 2, but it won't hit level 2. It gets destroyed now. The barracks is going to follow up right after, going down slowly but surely. And Abe has only 300 command points, but he was also able to deal great amount of economical damage now to his opponent. Arvin in strategy is back on the menu, boys. Arvin has to get dismounted, however, to get a bit more tankiness against the enemy pikemen. Now she's a bit more, you know, resistant. I wished it would give you the informations here when it comes to mount and dismount. And here, BFME 1, the patch 2.22, which we have released a couple of months ago, is actually giving the player much more information, you know. And I think giving informations and telling, hey, you know what, when you get mounted, you will lose armor against pikemen by 100%, but you will be more resistant against swordmen, for example, would be nice to recruit not only new players, but also to give the new players the chance to fully understand the game, you know. But it's okay. So Arvin is already level 2, level 5 or level 6 rather, sorry, is a power spike with the flood. Big counter attack with the Rallying Call on these horses. The farm in the middle of the map has been taken down. Now is the time for the Alvin player Mustafa to shine. Malone tree next to the farm. He has now the second hero, and this is going to be Glorfindel. So basically now 2 mounted heroes, and that's something we have seen from Mustafa many times in the past too. So basically now you want to group up with Glorfindel and Arvin in one group. Use those 2 heroes to pressure the enemy farms and try to fish for experience points. Get to level 6, use Flood, die, revive Arvin, and do it again. Yes, the Flood's damage is nerfed. Oh, there was a beautiful arrow volley, by the way. Almost one-shotted those lancers because they were in the aggressive stance, but luckily for Mustafa, they were still buffed from the Rallying Call. And it's a 10 power point investment from Mustafa, from Abe, which is on cooldown now. Mustafa, not the builder. Oh, he's gonna get in safety by building a wall up. The counter attack now with pikemen. We need definitely some archers or Lorien warriors to defend against those Rohan spearman units. Oh, and also Glorfindel was taking so much damage. Arvin is still alive. She's still not mounted. But the thing is about Arvin, not only the flood, also Atelas is very effective, especially when it comes to heal up the nearby allied heroes around her. They will get both dismounted. And remember, Glorfindel doesn't get the chance anymore to use the Blade of Purity when he's mounted. If you want to use it, you need to be dismounted. For example, now he gets the chance to use it. However, he doesn't have to. He can win this fight anyway. More experience, more power points. Man of the West keeps up the pressure. The Lorien warriors are slowly but surely taking care of this Rohan spearman. They are using now the porcupine formation to become a bit more tanky. Rallying Call has been used. The builder will be slain. The Malone tree will be destroyed right after. 425 command points for Man of the West and 475 command points for Elves. All 5 power points from the spellbook, 3 power points collected after that, 3 power points after the arrow volley into Rallying Call for the Man of the West player. No rebuild, no heal, nothing like that. So pretty nice. Maxim, welcome. Balconoid, welcome. Pro Slice, welcome. Mr. Balin, welcome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Son Goku, welcome. Okay, the barracks is eventually gonna be saved, I'm assuming. They are buffed, yes, but they are weak. When they are not using porcupine formation, hold ground stance, they will get almost one-shotted by the Lorien warriors, as you can see and tell. Now the counter attack, he has no pikeman protecting this area. So he needs pikemen, otherwise the farms are not going to be protected for a long time. Where are the heroes at? They are rotating from the top side. So Arwen now at this stage of the game has to be careful to not feed those Elven heroes, you know, more than he already did. Because Arwen is going to scale, but same also goes for, of course, Glorfindel. Windrider is also a great ability for increased movement speed and additional armor. But once again, earlier, like a couple of patches ago, you could be using Windrider and Blade of Purity at the same time. And imagine that for a single second. You know, while using this two, you would have 100% more damage, 150% more armor, and 40% movement speed. Like, not only you would be hitting like a truck, you would be extremely tanky, and nobody would be able to escape you, because Windrider gives you this insane amount of movement speed boost. And he would be the fastest hero on horse. But for now, he decides to be dismounted. Atelas once again to keep up the heroes healthy. Now we have 3 Elven heroes, boys, next to each other. And Ave is demolishing everything. And Ave, boys, has been defeated. When I finally start losing some weight. El Clasico, good against evil, true. We have the red Isengard player, Mustafa at the top side, against the blue Elven player, Ave at the bottom side. That's a beautiful design map though. I mean, I like this brightness of this map. It's not too bright, it's not too dark, it's not too big either, you know. It's like a medium size. I believe the size should be kind of similar to the map Forts of Eisen, with like 3 big pathways. You have a middle, bottom, and top. And obviously you can also use this bridge. The thing about this bridge is it's very tricky, you know. You force yourself to clump. So imagine a fight here and the opponent lands like an arrow volley just on the spot while you are trying to cross over the bridge. Holy moly, that's gonna be awesome. Maybe we will get the chance to see that very soon. 2 Malone trees into the barracks. Into the 3rd Malone tree is the build order from Ave at the bottom side. On the other side we see 3 furnaces into the work pit start from the Isengard player Mustafa. So it's gonna be work packs first. And for that reason, I'm assuming we're gonna see Creepane from the spellbook, because, you know, War Chant and Hole, they don't stack with each other, so pointless to go for the War Chant to boost your War Packs. But as he's building the Uruk pits, he might also go for the War Chant now. And one of the, as you can see and tell, you know, one of the major differences between BFME 2 and Rise of the Witch King is in BFME 2, I mean, the Elven faction player would pick the far side, and Isengard would either choose Creepane or the Vision of Palantir, because again, random is unrevealed in BFME 2. That means you don't get the chance to see the enemy faction. But here in Rise of the Witch King on the patch 2.02, you have random revealed. That means, and also the buffs are busted. You know what I'm saying? 50% more damage and armor is just too crazy to avoid picking. That's why there is like little to zero chance for you to ever see Farsight start from the Elven faction, for example. So we have a pikeman start into the 2nd barracks. So he's gonna commit on infantry at the beginning of the game. Might later on always go for a transition into the stable instead. But for now, archers, pikemen, and Lorien warriors. We have war packs up on the field. Whole ability, once again, replacement for the war chant, 50% more damage, armor. And also when you combine that with the aggressive stance, you get a great amount of DPS off against structures. But they are kind of squishy, and when we compare the Ward Packs from Isengard against the Spiderlings from the Goblin faction, I would always choose the Spiderlings. I believe the Spiderlings are maybe not strong in a one-on-one situation, but they feel, at least for me, a bit more useful. Hey Falcon, welcome. Would love to see someone summon Sauron and wreck opponent in a tournament. We have seen this, by the way. I mean, Christopher Punk. We have seen this in the Battle for Middle-earth 2 tournament a couple of weeks ago. In one of the few matches, in one of the first matches, it's even a video on YouTube. The guy was recruiting Sauron. Yeah, I mean, he was Sauron. Sauron was on the field. And in BFME 2, it's a different story. When you think the ring heroes in Rise of the Witch King are strong, hey dude, you gotta see them in BFME 2, guys. They have like 20 abilities, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't want to spoil too much, but let me tell you that much. Sauron can summon 2 Balrogs, which is kind of crazy.
Elves, over here.
Yeah, it's one of the, you know, kind of a couple of weeks old, like 2-3 weeks old. Has like BFME 2 in the title, so it's easy to find. The War Packs, the War Creep is going to be secured by the Elven player Ave. He was also creeping this one at the beginning, keep in mind. This Malone tree is going to be definitely taken down, and Ave is preparing himself now for a counter attack. I can also send you guys later on the link in Twitch chat, or maybe Balindru can send it to you guys. The furnace is getting insta-demolished. And this is not a bad army though. I mean, he has swords and pikes, right? He can even commit against the war pit and eventually take it down. But it looks like you want to ignore it for now and destroy the eco instead. By that, I mean, talking about the furnace. Offensive Malone trees coming up now for Ave. Still double barracks, no steeple. And 1 power point collected, 350 command points, and 500 command points and 4 power points collected for the Elven player Ave. The furnace has been taken down. Isengard should be kind of able to defend this in long terms, but what happens in this situation is that, you know, Isengard, never mind, doesn't even try. And holy moly guys, Elven faction 100% win rate. So, from the statistics all alone, what we have seen so far in the Champions League, Isengard was able to win every single game against Angmar. Let's see if the blue Isengard player Ave can destroy the red Angmar player Mustafa to keep the 100% win rate from Isengard against Angmar in this Champions League so far. 2 mills coming up for the Angmar faction and 2 furnaces coming up for the Isengard player Ave at the bottom side. This is a reskin from the map BFME, which is like an OG map from Battle for Middle-earth 1. It's a redesign. Looks also pretty nice. You know, basic map with troll layers, 2 of them, and also 2 warg layers. So not many creeps are involved in this map. It's more about fighting. And clan setting start. Okay, so clan setting start is a start from Isengard. We see now more and more often lately. And I believe it's kind of okay. Especially the Wildman extroverts, they are so efficient, you know, they are so cost efficient. They are dealing great amount of damage, being kind of tanky enough. And in the mid to late game when Isengard gets the eco boost you need with, you know, like Industry, Devastation, Fuel the Fires, you can even upgrade them with Heavy Armor and Forge Blades to make them tanky. We have seen this also yesterday between Mustafa and his opponent Traki. But Traki made a mistake that he didn't want to recruit any of the pikemen, you know, to cover this extroverts. They cost 250, not 150, sorry. 150 for the White Man of Talent. In the meantime, we have Hall of the Kingsmen into a very early transition from the Wolf Den, and that's the power of Angmar early on, you know. Now, Angmar has legit the chance to recruit every single unit you want from those 2 buildings alone. And the only unit you cannot recruit is the one unit you don't really need, and those are sorcerers. I mean, I think a couple of you guys even forgot that sorcerers are a thing in Rise of the Witch King, right? But they are actually existing in the game, but you gotta build up the Temple of Twilight. Now, if you ask me, a person who was doing hosting many tournaments in Rise of the Witch King for the past 3 years, I think I've seen them once or twice. They are just very situational, and I guess kind of like a troll unit. You know what I'm saying? We don't really need them. Angmar doesn't really need them. Weapon of Talent summon, you know, usage from the clan setting. Clan setting is also kind of tanky building, right? I mean, the same HP like a Uruk Pit. The Wolf Riders hold ground stands to not get one-shotted. I mean, the Wolf Riders are one of the worst cavalry units in the game, but that's okay. Again, it's so easy to get them on the field too. You know what I'm saying? Wolf packs up on the field. No heavy spike collars. We need a bit more unit, but because the... Oh, that's dangerous now, because, dude, they steal so much money from you if they target your building. The wolf packs are coming back. The Wildmen, they need to turn and fight them. They should be able to win this fight. Remember, the wolf packs in this patch got nerfed, and especially without the upgrade from the heavy spike collar, they will be kind of squishy against anything but pikemen. But they are still one of the best units in the game when you think about it. That's the only mobile unit on, you know, which is as fast as a horse that can counter the pikemen. And with hard, I mean, that's a hard counter, by the way. You don't kill them slowly as archers kill them or swordmen kill them. You literally one-shot them in most situations. Crazy damage boost against the enemy pikemen. So this is gonna be defended, but you know, it's chunked, obviously, 50% damage dealt, and also, you know, very important that we need to keep in mind Isengard was also able to steal money during all this time. The furnace behind is going to be taken down. This army is buffed, and the wolf riders for whatever reason are charging into the pikemen. But again, they are level 2 now, and even if they are only level 1, one of the advantages from the Trollmaster units is that they have the recovery, because the guy here behind is acting like a banner carrier. Yeah, someone used sorcerers last year 2 times. Yeah, very unlikely. Maybe we actually see them in BFME in 2v2s, 3v3s, and 4v4s in like those team games a bit more often. But in the 1v1 scene, definitely the rarest units. I mean, there are just many units we don't really get the chance to see very often. I mean, I'm talking about Zealots. I think you dead. I'm talking about Zealots. I'm talking about Deathbringers from Isengard, this level 3 Uruk Pit units. Talking about, you know, Fire Drakes from Goblin faction, Sorcerers. The only elite units we get to see a bit more often are Black Riders from Mordor and the Knights of Dol Amroth from Men of the West, which are also very rare, but much more often in compared to Fire Drakes. Oh, that hurts. Like, that's the downside from the Trall Master. Now the counter-attack, I think Isengard is in a very solid point to maintain the 100% win rate against Angmar in the Champions League. Let's see. 400 command points for Angmar. He has barely any units around. He has Warchan on cooldown, and Isengard, he has more command points, more units up on the field, and Warchan is available. Buffed army against non-buffed, very small army. I mean, I think that's gonna be tough to defend. The only thing is, he has one pikeman only, right? If he somehow can kill the one pikeman, he might actually get the chance to trample them. And the wolf tanks are the best option if they ever get the chance to get to the pikeman. Nice positioning. Positioning is so important in Rise of the Witch King, guys. The way you want to kind of group up your units with, you know what I'm saying? Now he puts the pikeman in the porcupine formation inside the army. This way he can protect them against a potential trample engage from the wolf riders. And because they are clumped with the rest of the army, the wolf packs, they need to kind of get into the range of the other units. And the other units are kind of crushing those wolf packs in like a second. Big commitment. The Hall of the Kingsmen #1 has been taken down. The mill, almost level 2, is going to be the next target. Still nice positioning. The pikes are holding those wolf riders away. Torches on this Wildman of the Unends. Basically like a siege hammer upgrade from the Guardians, making them hit like an absolute track and devastating all these structures in few seconds. And everything is getting demolished. They don't even call it GG. They just leave silently. Demolish this and you're gonna be defeated, Mustafa. And boys, 100% win rate still. Isengard against Ingmar. That's what I'm saying, you know, the textures are a bit buggy, but it's okay. We have the red man of the West player Mustafa at the top side against the blue man of the West player Avi at the bottom side. Brandy Hills, we have Nazgûs looking for those hobbitses, but they are on the wrong side, you know what I'm saying? Do you guys remember the films, the Mummy? You know, like one of the first Mummy films actually in early 20s. I don't even know the name of the guy anymore. But you guys remember, right? It's in Egypt, you know what I'm saying? Pharaohs and stuff like this. And there was a moment which was similar to this moment, you know? They made kind of a race. Whoever is gonna reach the island first. And one of the guys was saying like, oh, we are first. And the other guy was like, guess what? You are on the other side of the island. The same situation here for the hobbits. Also one of the coolest movies ever, you know? I like this, you know, film a lot. The Mummy. From 1999 or something. And I'm telling you guys, the best films of the universe actually got released in the early 20s. You know, like 2000, 2001, 2003. Like, you know, alongside with the Lord of the Rings trilogy, we have also gotten the chance to see very great films like Matrix, for example, was also around the same time, right? Also kind of Troy was around the same time. So in the 5 years between 1999 to 2004, those 5 years were the greatest years for the film industry. You have economical opening coming up for Avi, and double farm into the stable coming up for Man of the West player Mustafa. A stable delete, ladies and gentlemen. Harry Potter is one of these films, yeah, true. Okay, so we have a barracks transition after the first Golden Knight, and after an opening like that, it's very important for Mustafa to keep those Golden Knights protected as long as possible. And I'm assuming it's gonna be a hero start. What is going on? He has no units on the field. Like, he has no... Or is he going for offensive barracks or something? He's building a barracks here, okay. Didn't see that. But the barracks is a little bit too late. I was actually expecting something like an Elma or Eowyn, but nope. No, sir. It's gonna be a barracks opening after multiple farms. Like, look how many farms he was building up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 farms before the barracks. Very greedy. In perfect counter strategy from Mustafa. Now the punishment. Now the punishment is huge. The farms are not getting demolished in time, and there is one specific reason why Ave doesn't demolish them, guys. And the reason is because he has no covering, right? He has no chance of covering the other ones. And the reason why he doesn't want to demolish them is he want to delay. He want to buy himself some time to keep those Gondor Knights busy destroying one farm instead of demolishing it, so they have the chance to jump from one farm to another farm, because the pikes are so far away. They are creeping. So still no units on the field. Elma starts basically as a counter, but the amount of... Oh, he even goes for the rebuild to save one of the farms at least. Elma is level 2 now, has spear throw. Level 4 is going to be the time for the Horse Lord of Rohan to shine with the outlaw leadership. Creeping action is going on. Mustafa is now coming from the bottom side with one of the Gondor soldiers. Double barracks now up on the field. Archer range might be also necessary. Spear throw, boom, nice shot. And level 3 almost unlocked. Big commitment. But I guess this fight should be kind of, you know, easily to be won by Ave. However, we also gotta keep in mind that during all this time, the Red Man of the West player Mustafa is untouched. I think 1994 is the best year for the film industry. Like Forrest Gump, show Shanks. Oh, I mean, every time I see Shank, for me it's Shanks. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I mean, I read the message like, I was born in 1990, by the way. I mean, let's be real. The best year for the Twitch industry is 1990, because that's when I was born, guys. Come on now. Pulp Fiction, yeah. I mean, many great films. Unfortunately, in the past 5 to 10 years, let's be honest, we haven't gotten the chance to see great films. Maybe it's the expectations from the people, you know, changed. Because the Matrix, when it was first coming out in, I think it was like 1999, right? Imagine the Matrix back in the day. There was nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? Never before. It was so unique. Oh, Rallying Call has been used. Elma is level 3. Elvin, the Shieldman of Rohan. Now we have the Rohan Hero Fellowship joining the party for the Blue Man of the West player Ave. The Rallying Call is kind of blown away because Ave is doing a good job, you know, dodging the fight, right? He's actually going forward and wasting the time of his opponent, who is now Elma sustaining up, Elvin spear. I don't know if Elvin is a great call in this specific matchup. Elvin is a great hero definitely against Engma because of the smite ability, which can be used to crush, for example, the Trollmaster from the Battalion, you know? It's pretty efficient, but against Men of the West, I don't know. Hi Losada, welcome to the stream. Maybe John Wick films are catching the back. Yeah, John Wick, you know, John Wick is not really about story, you know what I'm saying? It's about a badass guy who actually just kills everybody, you know? When you think about that, there is no storytelling behind that. There's like an assassin who just kills everybody. You know, he kills like 20 guys with a pen. That's his story. Or spear throw, he actually killed the full battalion, dude. That's pretty nice. It hurts. And that was the first and only Gondor Knight, by the way, keep in mind. You know, remember, Mustafa was building a stable, getting one Gondor Knight and demolishing the stable right after that one, you know? It hurts. It really hurts. Which patch is this, mister? The patch 2.02 version 8.5. The Chief. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Spear throw! Oh, Builder is tanking it like a boss. Look, this guy. He's not joking around. He's actually serious. Lots of pressure. Boromir is on the field as the hero number 3 for Ave. Double Rohan hero into the Captain of Gondor. Rallying Call. Checkmate Mustafa. Yeah, I think Mustafa is in a bad spot. 300 command points only against 550. And even though the start was looking kind of good for Mustafa, but the follow-up was kind of meh. Like, remember, he was going for a really early transition into the barracks after the stable. So the Gondor Knights, they actually kept pressuring quite decently. But then, you know, maybe imagine him going with the pikeman forward instead of a Gondor soldier. Elma and Elwin are not disappointed, dismounted. Hopefully they are not disappointed. They are dismounted to be a bit more tanky against those pikemen. Elma is now level 4-2 outlaw, which will give you pretty much like the same value like from the pillage of Lourdes, but Lourdes has to be level 8 for that, and Elma needs to be only level 4. And Boromir is also on the field. So Elvin's purpose No, Elvin, I think Elvin is pretty similar in all Battle for Middle-earth games. BFME 1, 2 and Rise of the Witch King, you know, she's kind of disguised is like a very meme ability, right? Disguise as a normal Rohirrim. Holy moly, nerf this thing, it's OP as hell. But in reality, that's the most useless ability from a hero in the entire gaming industry. Not only Battle for Middle-earth games, but ever, you know what I'm saying? Boromir is level 2, the Horn of Condor is available to decide the fight, and... it's done. Amen, Topsway, thank you so much. Thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate that. And guys, by the way, thank you for tuning in, for, you know, following, watching the channel. Really means a lot to me. With you, it's so much more fun, you know what I'm saying? They have fought us too long. Boromir. Easy fight, easy situation here for Avi. Stop joking, Shanks. That's the best ability of the entire world. Yeah, sorry, man. And Mustafa is gonna call it this time GG actually, and he leaves the game. And we have the blue Mordor player Avi at the top side against the red Dwarven player Mustafa at the bottom side. Now, this matchup. What can I say about this matchup? I believe every single minute which passes through should be kind of giving Mordor a bit of, you know, more advantage against dwarves. Dwarves, they are kind of very snowbally faction. So once you get a lead on a map like this, which is a huge distance, I mean, imagine the travel time. You need actually imagine for a single second how long it is to walk from, I mean, just straight is the easiest way to walk from one side to the other side. But look at the route, you know what I'm saying? When you want to move all the way from this side, look how long you need to travel to reach the opposite side of the map, you know what I'm saying? And for that reason, the mineshaft connection, the networking system on this map is going to be just the best thing ever, you know, because then you have the chance to literally jump from one place to the other place. And that's the power of dwarves. If they get a snowballing lead, they will get the chance to expand extremely offensively by building the mineshaft left, right, front, back, you know, and then you can just teleport pretty much like in League of Legends. You can teleport to one tower to the other tower, and I like that. Archer rain start, okay, for the extrovers. That's pretty nice. I like that. You also need to update from your info for the helpful videos. Okay, man, I will do that. Remind me later on Discord. I'm an old guy, you know, I cannot keep everything in my mind. That's why I need to write it down. Alright, extrovert start, which is not bad against Mordor when it comes to deal with orcs, but it looks like this Mordor actually going for an economical opening, like in the previous game. It was working out. Remember, he was building 6 farms and Elma, and he might also do the same situation here for the game number 5. He might actually go for a Gothmog start. We have slaughterhouse, so 6 in total. And no, drawing is always in. So basically, when you press Control and then, you know, hold your left button on the mouse, you can always draw, you know. But zoom is only for observers. So in the new version, you can only zoom out as observer, which again gives you so much more control of this game, especially when there are multiple fights happening at the same time. I like it, to be honest. I always use it every single time. 4 farm start is pretty dangerous, you know. It's a 6 farm start, bro. Not farm. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see, that is 6-1. Now he's building up 2 orc pits. Now, orc pit and Haradrim Palace at the same time. But the thing is, I believe if you can do something like this, that's the perfect map. This map is huge, because there is a high chance that your opponent does what he currently does. He creeps, right? He want to use the extroverts to slowly creep, and this is giving you so much time. Imagine 6 untouched resource buildings from Mordor, and he gets the chance to recruit Gothmog. Look at this Freddy Krueger, guys. This guy is literally Freddy Krueger's stepbrother, guys. Trust me on that one. Like this guy, not stepbrother, maybe the, you know, the same mother or different father or something, you know what I'm saying? He looks like the guy from Nightmare of Elm Street, or not. Yes, come on now, is it only me? He's gonna creep.
No more of this.
Come on. Against dwarves, the fear resistant doesn't really matter. The Haradrims though, I would love to see more Mokias, but they're also very rare. Also kind of strong, but also expensive and hard to control because they are so sloppy, they are so slow. Unless they are charging. Okay, So we have an action of creeping. Pikemen and extroverts, they are creeping. He was creeping this one already. That's going to be the second creep, and he might rotate even to the third creep at the bottom left side. But this is only giving Mordor more time to scale. Now he has Orc Pit level 2 for the Black Orcs. And you know the saying, boys, once you go black, you never go back. You know what I'm saying? Hi. AFK gank? Yeah, actually kind of nothing happening. They are kind of focusing on the creeping action first. And Gothmog is scaling, getting stronger. Has now the Fury unlocked, which is an improved version of the Carnage, really. It gives you 200% more damage, 25% more armor. Makes him a bit more tanky, but also makes him hit like a truck, which is something you should not be underestimating. So now the first rotation of Pikemen and Extroverts is coming, but is this gonna be enough? Because now there is quality option, and that's why Mordor is one of my most favorite factions to see in Rise of the Witch King, because Mordor has so many options. You know, when you think about that, compare Mordor with elves, compare Mordor with even Men of the West or with dwarves. You know, like, think about the potential you have with this faction. You know, you can go for orc spam by building multiple orc pits. No, you don't want that? Hey, it's fine. You go for a level 2 orc pit and get elite swordmen on the field instead. You go Haradrims, you want to get lancers? Hey, say no more. You want to get elite archers? Also possible. You want to get monsters? You know what? Mountain trolls, drummer trolls, attack trolls, Mumakios, heroes on foot, heroes on horse, heroes on flyers, on flying things. Like, the options you have with the Mordor faction is so incredibly a lot that you can adapt to every single gameplay. That's also one of the reasons why it's, you know, one of my most favorite mirror matches, because the other factions, especially for example Elven faction, is kind of limited to one certain strategy. You heavily rely on the barracks and you want to play around your archers and stuff like that. But Mordor has so many different options. Vorchen has been used. You have Easterlings, Orc archers on the field, Black Orcs, and remember, when they are level 2 they get the Bloodthirsty, which means more DPS. The more DPS is also scaling with the Day of the Orc ability leadership from Gothmog, which means pretty much 33% more damage, armor, and 50% more experience. That also stacks with the war chant. So basically, long story short, you can make your Black Orcs hit very hard and also become extremely tanky at the same time. They are way better than orcs, than normal orcs. They obviously cost also much more, but they are worth every single penny. They are one of the most cost-efficient swordmen in the game, because they cost less than Black Numenorians, less than Uruks, less than Half-Troll Swordsmen, but they are almost nearly as powerful as them. And often the 100 resource differential, especially early mid-game, is worth more than having like 5% stronger units. Oil Barrel has been used. He has actually one Easterling in between, so the Battle Wagon has to watch out. He's getting a beautiful trample off into the Orc archers behind. The extroverts are getting crushed in the meantime from the Mordor army. And hey, the Battle Wagon, oh, heal is gonna be used in the last possible second to save it. There is no debuff going on. Hey, be careful with the Battle Wagon, dude. The only way you can get debuff with the Mordor faction is, you know, you can obviously get Black Orcs and stuff like Black Riders and stuff like that. But when it comes to nullify enemy leadership bonuses, you need either the Witch King or you need the Mouth of Sauron with the Daubt ability, you know, who is also very underrated. I think Mouth of Sauron is a beefy hero, deals great amount of damage, has a couple of great amount of abilities, and you know, the Daubt is basically like a mist, the 10 power points from the Elven faction. It's actively debuffing the enemy units and making them lose their leadership bonuses. We have Men of Steel on the field now, but they are kind of ignoring the Mordor army from the bottom and from the top side, and that's bad. Like, Black Orcs, these are not normal orcs, dude. You cannot ignore them like that. They will crush your mineshafts in no time. Inumara, welcome. I'm working right now. Don't tell my boss I'm watching. Hey, dude. Rebbe Redagask. Thank you so much for tuning in. Always nice to see you in the chat. Music the Nap is also here. May Shadow Fangs is also here. I'm streaming the stream of Shanks. Hey, the May Shadow Fangs stream. Hey guys. Should I turn on my webcam for this, guys? Men of Steel. Mordor has units everywhere, and you know, May Shadow Fangs, when you are listening, I would like to see also you playing Mordor again. You know, that was your best faction, right? In the faction champion tournament, there was the tournament you was able to win. I think it was the finals against Sauron, and you was able to perform extremely well with your mountain trolls. But then, since then, I don't see you playing actively Mordor anymore. Maybe, I mean, yeah, I get it. You know, you gotta pick random now for the upcoming tournaments, but there is a high chance that you might get Mordor, and I think I would love to see that again. Battle wagons. Look at the black orcs, dude. They are actually crushing. What? Did you guys see that? I mean, he has archers behind, but the black orcs, I mean, archers are not dealing any damage to the battle wagons. The black orcs crushed it. Holy moly. And you will see their damage now. They have leadership. Did he also war chant them? Yes, sir. So war chants. Look at this, man. That's crazy, dude. That's chunking. He's chunking the fortress without the help of Gothmog. Now Gothmog is rotating too. Fury is available to boost, but doesn't even need it. 2 black orcs is all it takes. Maybe this game from Ave is gonna convince the people to finally give those black orcs more respect than they get currently. Trust me, they are worth it, guys. They are so effective early on, and you also gotta keep in mind that upgrading the orc pit to level 2 is not very expensive. It's very cheap, and you get 10% faster build speed, you get a tankier building which is more resistant for attacks, and you get the chance to get black orcs and also banner carrier. Banner carrier is also pretty nice, by the way. Did he purchase it? Yes, sir. So he has banner carrier purchased too, which means you can get the bloodthirsty unlocked instantly. Vidiera, welcome. And I think that's gonna be it, boys. Against the power of Mordor, as Saruman would like to see, there can be no victory. Gothmog is running for his life. This guy is so Freddy Krueger style, you know what I'm saying? Look at him, boys. No girl could resist. Look at this guy, how handsome he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, his voice is so deep, you know, like ASMR next level. Hot tub. Imagine Gothmog in a hot tub stream, dude. Like 100,000 viewers guarantee, you know what I'm saying? Gothmog. He's like very small though. I mean, he looks like a dwarf, you know? He's very small creature actually. I felt so bad for him because he got bullied so hard in the films. When you think about it, you know? He was getting crushed from the Rohirrim. He was escaping. The Trebuchet almost shot his face during the siege of Minas Tirith. And then randomly, all of a sudden, AOD spawns with Aragorn, Gimli, Legolas, and Gimli and Aragorn kind of crushing him, you know, kind of cutting him into pieces. And he could get nothing done. The leader of the orcs. He was like the leader of the battle of the siege, you know? Because he was the one Witch King was speaking to him after Osgiliath was kind of overrun. Big commitment now. Did he actually repair this already? Yeah, rebuild is on cooldown. That means, yeah, it's gonna fall slowly but surely.
That still only counts as one.
That still only counts as one. Very true. The fortress is falling apart, and so does Mustafa, ladies and gentlemen. In the best of 7, it's gonna be a 4-1 victory from Ave, and that's the reason why Ave is in the top 3. But we have Sauron, we have Urbi still in it,